What's up YouTube? I'm Hakman and welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, I'll be reviewing a 2011 Audi S4, but this one has high mileage. Let's find out if it's reliable or unreliable. This review will be a two-part review. Part 1, I'll just talk about the car in general, the features, interior, exterior performance. Part 2 will just cover all the maintenance and everything I had to do to make the car run efficiently and smoothly. Now when it comes to exterior styling, I think the B8 S4 still is a good looking car. Compared to the B8 A4, it doesn't have a lot of differences though. First off is the front grille. Now the front grille, I have it blacked out. Personally, I like it black compared to chrome. And if you guys want to do it yourself, I've posted the link in the description of the DIY video that we did for blacking out the grille. The other big difference is your mirrors. So the mirrors on the B8 S4 are chrome. So, but I believe, I think you could get the black optics package, which you can have them the same as the body color, and then everything is blacked out on the car. And the other big thing is that V6T badge that they have on the fenders. I don't understand why it's T, because the car is not turbo, it's supercharged. And the last one is obviously your exhaust, which is a quad exhaust compared to a dual exhaust tip on the A4s. My personal opinion, it still stands out till this day after 10 years. Sure, it doesn't have a lot of differences with the A4, but a lot of people probably like the understated look. And if it's tuned, it is a good sleeper car to have for sure. Interior styling. The interior is actually holding up really well, just like that B8 S5 that I did. And everything feels solid. There seem to be no rattles or anything that usually develop long term in cars, and the interior itself was holding up really well. The only thing would be the driver's seat, but that's what you use every day, but it's not in bad shape by any means. All the buttons and on the MMI and everything feel solid to the touch till this day. They don't feel faded, and that's Audi quality. Even after 10 years, it feels good to touch. Nappa leather still going strong. The interior plastics still good as long as you give them a good clean every now and then. The aluminum trim is holding up really well. So overall, the MMI is still good to the touch, very clicky and nice, easy to use. Again, the nav is really well thought out. Now moving on to the performance numbers. This engine is a 3-liter V6 supercharged, and it produces 333 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. The S4 comes standard with all-wheel drive, Audi's Quattro, 60% to the rear, 40% to the front. Now for the B8 S4, Audi actually kind of went back to their roots, their B5 S4, if you guys know, that it had a 2.7 liter twin turbo engine, and that was a beast of an engine when it was tuned. But they went to a V8 for the B6 and the B7. I think Audi made the right choice by going with the V6 supercharged. It's linear power all throughout the band, and with that added sport differential, it feels more like a rear wheel drive with less understeer, and it's always planted wherever you go because it's not that nose heavy anymore. dynamic mode, which is supposed to be like a sport mode for Audi. Let's see how she does. Oh yeah, she pulls, man. This car is no joke. Now, last week I was driving a 2018 M240i. That car was like a completely different animal because it's more nimble, it's less weight, and a little bit more power on it. Even though this S4 is down on power, it doesn't feel much slower than that BMW M240i. I know that Audi did understate the power on these when they initially came out, so I wouldn't be surprised it's on par even though it's a little heavier. In auto mode, in dynamic, it pulls hard all the way. You don't have to put it in manual or anything. It just goes and goes. The only thing that I do find is that the red line should have been a little higher than what it is. Apart from that, I think the car is really well rounded for a daily driver. One thing that surprises a lot of people is the way this car launches. It really puts you back in your seat when you launch it hard, and this is without using launch control. The car pulls really hard in dynamic mode. It's never hunting for any gears. But if you put it in manual, it's even a better driving experience. One other thing I noticed is that when you're driving in comfort mode and auto, I personally don't prefer those modes at all, because in comfort the car doesn't know when to like hunt for like a gear. Like it's just always confused. Like you really have to push the gas all the way for the car to really like engage in what you want it to do. Auto, I find like sometimes the steering is good, or like the suspension will be too soft. Now this car does come with adaptive dampers. It comes with the Audi Sport differential, Audi Drive Select, so you can change all those things whenever you would like, or you can set it to individual mode where whatever you prefer, you just set it to. As long as you're not merging on the highway, comfort is good enough. But personally, comfort and auto for me, just maybe if they only had like comfort, sport, and individual, it would have been good enough. The auto mode I don't like at all. I use this car for highway driving, so for me, dynamic mode is the way to go, or I just set it and leave it in individual. That brings us to the end of this episode. Please like and subscribe so I can give you guys better reviews and cool cars in the future. My parting thoughts on this 2011 S4. It's a really good car to have. It's 10 years old and you can get it for under 15,000, and it can hold on its own with a lot of cars that are made today. And with a stage 1 or stage 2 tune, you probably will outperform a lot of cars. See you guys next week for part 2 of this series, where I'll be discussing the long-term review of owning this car for 2 years. I'll talk about the likes, dislikes, and the maintenance that I had to put in for the car to run efficiently and smoothly, and the reliability of the car long term. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think and what you guys would like to see in the future.